This tutorial will go over the basics of Github.com, which is the site that we are using to store all of our code for the Teams module project. GitHub is a website that allows for the collaboration and hosting of version control repositories for coding projects. The Teams module is hosted on GitHub under the RIT LECDM account. To access it, log into the RIT LECDM account on github.com. Credentials can be requested from Jamie Weinbreg. You can access it by going to github.com, clicking on Sign In the upper right hand corner. Input the credentials, and then click on Sign In. This will take you to the main GitHub homepage. You can access the profile for RIT LECDM by clicking on the link in the upper right hand corner. Go to the Teams module repository, and from here you can see the basics of the entire repo that we've set up. There's a large README file which I encourage you to look through, as well as the entire code in visual form right here. Across the top you can see all the statistics about the repository, and you can get into more in depth by going down to graphs. For now we're going to look at something else. It's the issue tracking. Issues allows developers and users of the software to post in any bugs that they found in the software or an enhancement that needs to be worked on. Issues allow you to collaborate with other people that might you might be working with, and they allow you to see where the bugs are and what needs to be fixed. Going further down, we have something called graphs. This allows you to see the statistics of the entire history of the project over time. I can look at the exact amount of commits to the master branch, as well as different portions of the code over time. See the traffic that the repository has been getting, code frequency, how often addition deletions are created, and much more. Further down we have our Settings tab. The Settings tab is provides the administrative control over the repository. This allows you to enable and disable features such as the wikis and issues. There's also something called GitHub Pages. I have created a GitHub Pages website, and it's available at this link. The link will be available in the description below this video. This brings you to the Teams module homepage. This is all entirely hosted by GitHub, and I'll show you how to edit it in a second. Right here we can set up a complete one-page website for the project that can be viewable by anyone, and it's hosted on GitHub. It allows people to download the source code, and also I put in a link there to download the DLLs to help install that you saw in the first tutorial. To edit this page, you're going to want to go to the Settings tab on the RIT LECDM account, and you want to click on Automatic Page Generator. What this does is it's an easy way of editing the main page without knowing too much coding. It's all done in something called GitHub Flavored Markdown. I encourage you to click that link and read. It's really easy. There's also some basic buttons right here that allow you to edit it. For now, I've been hosting our .dll files through a Dropbox link. This may change in the future, but whatever service you decide to use to host the DLL files, be sure that you link it right here so that there's an easy place for people to go and download it. It also lines up with what we've put in the tutorial for the video 1. And then once you've made your changes, you can continue to layouts. And then if you did want to change the theme, this is just the one I chose as the default standard, you can go ahead and do so up there. Preview the changes, then click on Publish. This will publish it, and it will be updated once the user reloads the page. One other important thing to take note of here is in the Settings tab, we have something called Collaborators in the top left. Right now there are 2 users authorized on to use the repository full access. It is myself and Rob Clifford, who worked on the project spring semester. Here you can add collaborators, or you can remove them. Adding collaborators allows them full access over the code. What this means is that if any changes they make and they push up to the server, they will affect other people's code as well. Now there are ways to roll back through that. It's all through a versioning control system called Git. I highly recommend you do not make changes to the source code unless you are familiar with this version control system. And down here in the danger zone, you can transfer ownership of the repository. So let's say that we no longer wanted to use this GitHub account, but we wanted to keep the repo. you could transfer this to whatever new owner you wanted. That you just have to type in their GitHub username here. You can also delete the repository. If for some reason we don't wish to have this repository set up anymore, you can go ahead and delete it by clicking right there and typing in the name of the repository. To download a complete zip file of everything that's in the repo, on the main Teams module page, you can click on Download Zip. Once again, I highly recommend that you don't do too many changes with this code unless you know the Git version control system. That's the basics of the GitHub account. Again, if you have any questions, feel free to email either myself, sln7755 @rit.edu, or Jamie Weinbrake.